Hey guys, welcome back. It is your favorite Gimp with a Limp, and I'm here with a double feature for you today. A little special treat, double War Diary, if you will. Latest issue of War Diary, the magazine, and you can see its cover is The Atlantic Campaign by Donald Lowry and Paul Combin. And we've got the Atlantic Campaign Death of Dixie here in front of us. This is by Lock and Load Publishing. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a quick look at the magazine, show you what's going on in this issue, and then a quick look at the game and just show you the basics of it. So let's slide the game over for just a second. And we're not going to go long on the magazine. I want you to be able to read the articles for yourself if you want to. And as I've stated before, when it comes to this magazine, they don't do the usual of boxing in a small little game like that one. Instead, when you get the subscription, you're able to choose from Lock and Load Publishing a list of their games that are available with War Diary. And I'm going to go ahead and assume, I'm definitely assuming here because I haven't asked them, but I'm assuming since this says War Diary, a wargaming journal on the front of it, that it's one of those available for you to choose from. So I think that's a fairly safe assumption on that one. In this article, number 17, or in this issue, number 17, rather, we have a handful of articles. The first few are about the Atlantic Campaign game. We have the Atlantic Campaign and then designing it. So this is kind of, this article does more of like the historical overview of the game. And then them talking about it. We got Beneath the Red, then Beneath the Med. You gotta love that, man. When it comes to their naming. Sea Lion, Battle of Kursk, and Second World War series. So we'll flip through this very... Oh, sorry, I bumped the tripod. My apologies. We'll flip through it real quick. First article here, and this one seems like it's talking about the history behind this campaign. I haven't read through all the articles just yet, so forgive me if I am wrong on that, but I believe that's what this first article is. And I kind of love that because I know I'm not the only guy who got into wargaming because he enjoys history and especially war history. I mean, I majored in it in college, so obviously it's going to be something I'm going to be interested in, read at home. This obviously is during Civil War period and the Battle of Georgia. I guess they were fighting for Atlanta. So everyone who was involved, the Confederates, the Union troops, I will let you guys read through that for yourself. And their little advertisements, the Balkan Fury. And then we've got designing the Atlantic Campaign. So I like this. They go over the history, and then the next article is talking about the game itself, and it's an interview with the designers and how they came up with it. We see a nice little overview of the map here of the game, which I'm going to be showing you guys here in a sec anyway. So we're not going to spend a whole lot of time on that. And we'll flip through real quick and show you guys some more of the articles that are in here. We've got Beneath the Red, Italian submarines off East Africa, 1940, 1941. Hell, I didn't even know the Italians did a whole lot with subs during World War II. From what I understand, their Navy wasn't all that good, but they did have that excellent game recently from DVG by Stealth and Sea. I had to turn around and look at my gaming shelf to remember it, with the little Italian manned torpedoes. So we have that game. Oh, this is the article on, Beneath the Med. And it's talking about the newest, or I guess, is there a couple iterations? There might be a couple of iterations of it. It's the newest solitaire game, like the Hunters and the Hunted and that series. So if you've played games like that and you like those, you're going to like this. If you don't like games like that, then you're not going to like this. There's plenty of people who covered it. I've covered a handful of them. Hell, they were one of the first solitaire games I even covered on the channel, playing some stuff out. So very easy system. If you played this, and I'm sure this page right here is tipping you guys all off to exactly what type of game this is. So you know right just looking at it whether or not you're going to like it. And then Beneath the Med, a review and after action report. Gotta love after action reports. So this is talking about them actually playing the game Beneath the Red that they were discussing on the previous article. So you can read about this and the gameplay they had and the opinions of the game. I haven't played it, so I can't give you an opinion. I think this one is just an historical article. about potential sea lion games, which if you don't know, sea lion was the code name for the German invasion of Britain, which obviously is written down there, which they never did. So, yeah. But I think this article is talking about potentially gaming that out, like what if historical scenarios where Germany would have gone. And from what I understand in history, that they could have done it had they stayed focused and continued beating down the RAF, continued beating down, because they started going after the Navy, but they were having a hard time getting to the Navy because the RAF was attacking them. So they started attacking the RAF, and then Hitler got upset because Churchill did something that pissed him off. I think they bombed some German city or something. So they started targeting British cities instead of the RAF and gave the RAF time to rebuild and fight off the Luftwaffe. So if they had stayed focused and taken out the RAF, we might have actually seen a sea lion happen, and history could be way, way, way different than it is now. Yeah. What could have been, and pictures to irritate those out there who act like history is something that you can't study without being evil. And let's see, White Dog Game, September Storm, we march against England, a new perspective. Here we've got Mark Walker's Platoon Commander Deluxe, which I haven't played, but I do need to try that at some point. The Battle of Kursk by Michael Stoltz. So everyone who's into the Eastern Front knows about the Battle of Kursk, one of the biggest tank battles in history. So they got a game covering a lot of that, and they're showing off some of it and explaining how all that works. Looks interesting. I'm looking at this going, yeah, I kind of want to get that to the table. Like, I might have to check that one out, see if it's worth getting. And let's see what other articles we have. I think there's just one more. Yeah, Second World War Series, an introduction to the system. So this one definitely looks like something that would be up my alley. Kind of like that, the Pacific Theater one that just went to Kickstarter from Compass Games. I love these big World War II games where you can control a different nation and try to kind of game out all of World War II. It was the first thing that got me into wargaming, and I've always just loved the massive games where the whole world's at war and your whole table's just full of that crap. Just looks awesome as hell. Interesting looking article. Looks like it covers all the different game pieces and how everything works. And then we've got another little ad for some more lock and load stuff, obviously, here at the back of it. And then Legion War Games with their, let's see, Decision Victory 1918. And I'm going to mispronounce the hell out of this. Sussens, something like that. One of their games. So that is the newest War Diary magazine. Definitely check it out if you are interested into the wargaming magazines, because you will have the option to pick out a game. And if you're into the Civil War, you could pick out this game. So this is the Atlantic Campaign, The Death of Dixie. So it has to do with the move on Atlanta. Now, we're not going to go over the whole game. Consider this more of an unboxing. It strikes me as a more, don't take this the wrong way, it kind of sounds bad when I say it this way, but a basic war game. And by that, I mean that if you've played war games before, you're probably going to be able to slip into this relatively easily, because the numbers are kind of what you would expect them to be. When you're looking at the counters here, first number is attack strength, second number is defense strength, last number is movement factor. You know, it's stuff that we've seen before. You've got your infantry units, you've got your support units like engineers, supply, cavalry, artillery, the ones that aren't your direct fighting infantry units. And then there's commanders that can be involved, horse artillery, heavy artillery, and then your extra counters. Here are things like forts, fortifications, railroad breaks, because I think railroads play a big part when it comes to this game. Probably used for supply, and I would guess reinforcements would be my guess. But the rules for this are not long. It's only of this, 30-some page, like 40-page rule book. It's like the first 20 pages are rules. And you can see it's lock and load, big type, so it's not a hard game to learn by any means. Now, one of the things that stuck out to me about this game was the fact that the units are directional, right? And I kind of like that when they do that, because it makes a difference. You know, you've got your front facing and then your rear facing, and you can face into the different points of a hex. So you see here, if you're facing the line of the hex, then you're going to have 3 front facings, 2 flanks, 1 rear. And then if you aim into the vertice, I think I'm pronouncing that right, you got a couple of flanks and a couple of rear. So just depending on what works best for your troops, you're going to have to kind of protect your 6th, look out for your ass end. And then you attack in this game, you can only attack people who are in your front facing, so you can't attack to the rear. Zones of control and stuff like that come into play here. So interesting looking game. I definitely like that they have that going on. We'll flip through the rest of the rule book real quick. You guys can pause if you want to and go over any little portion just to see. I think they keep most of their rules on the website anyway, so you should be able to pull this up for yourself. And then, as always, examples of combat here in the back, like always, and then advanced rules for the game. I think we're right here at it. Yep. This should be, yeah, we're into the scenarios. So yeah, it's like the first 20 pages of this are rules, and that's it. You know, how to do the campaign game. And then we're into the scenario 1, shows your orders of battle for each of the different sides. Scenario 2, orders of battle. Scenario 3, orders of battle. Scenario 4. And this, they've got a bunch of charts here at the back. Combat results, leadership charts, terrain effects chart here at the back. Because keep in mind, this is in essence like a magazine game, so it's not going to have as many components for everything, but it is all available here in the rulebook. I didn't get quite why they put the map in here. I mean, I guess it's nice to have extra just in case, but advertisement for War Diary, and then extra copies of the cards back here in the back of the rulebook. And that's that, and I'll let you guys see the suitabilities real quick. Complexity, medium, which, yeah, that sounds about right. And solitaire playability, about medium, because no solitaire specific rules, but no hidden units or information or anything like that. So, you know, hot seat in both. And just a quick overview of the components. Okay, let's see, we got it all pulled out here. Few player aids, and only a single sheet of counters, so I'm not going to bother to pull them out because these are the good Lock and Load Publishing counters, pre-rounded, nice and thick. If you've used one of the Lock and Load counters before, then you've seen it. Confederate units at the top, Union forces here at the bottom with your admin counters here in the middle, and then that's the back of the counter sheet. Not a whole lot going on there, and again, just so you guys can see the front. And we've got a few player aids, some of those charts that I was showing you guys there in the rule book. Double-sided here, combat results table, combat orders matrix, which looks complicated, but I really don't think it is for this game. And then we have our terrain effects chart as well. So you don't have to go digging into the rule book for this information, but it is available. Is this one-sided? Yeah, one-sided. So just the terrain effects chart. And I think this should just be, oh no, it's more than one piece. I was thinking it was just one piece. 3 map pieces. So first map piece, and let you guys see the next one. This one should be the top map piece. That first one should have been the middle, and then the bottom of it for the Atlantic campaign. So this will be tall on your table. So think about this as one side of this is a sheet of paper, normal size sheet of paper roughly. So double that, and there's 3 of them for the size on how big the game is. Wouldn't take up too much room on your table. Good small game, something you could take with you on business trips or something to that like. All right, so that's the Atlantic campaign, War Diary, and the game itself. That way you guys can see both of them, what they have to offer. Definitely got to say, I've done a few videos on War Diary. I like it. It's a good magazine. It covers a wide variety of topics, lets you know what's coming out. And even though they are strongly associated with Lock and Load Publishing, they don't only put in things from Lock and Load Publishing. They do put in things, obviously, from other publishers in it. So it's not just, you know, solely focused on one company. You can learn about a little bit of everything, you know, history, what's going on with gaming, after action reports, all that good stuff. So I definitely like the magazine. And if you are a Civil War buff, Atlantic campaign from Lock and Load Publishing, you could get with your subscription to War Diary if you're into it. All right, you guys have any questions, feel free to put it down below. Otherwise, I'll talk to you in the next one.